we're at a point where like early stage valuations are still like super sky high. I mean, they're probably even higher than they were at the 2021 peak. And of course, we have these like super giant seed rounds like Mistral or like the SSI, the $1 billion valuation with the AI stuff that's going. What is happening right now in the market? And do you think this is sustainable? Do you think this is okay? Like, where do you see it going?
Well, I'm not sure early stage valuations are higher than the ZERP peak.
Okay.
I think they have come down. I think there is data from Carta and so on to support the fact that
really?
they've come
Okay.
down. I
Because
think
like the YC ones still seem like they're in a different stratosphere.
Well, yeah, totally. And YC has a dynamic around it. I think like a typical company coming out of YC today will target raising at 15 or 20 post. And that's
minimum, it seems. Yeah.
Minimum. And that's in part because of the new YC deal with the uncapped note that YC puts in, that's kind of forcing founders to raise more at higher prices to sort of make the dilution math work. Which is an outcome that everyone anticipated when YC introduced the new deal. And I think the problem with it is if founders raise money at too high a valuation earlier in their journey, it limits their ability to raise future quality rounds. And I get that founders think this is just VCs advocating their interest, but like, Mark Lohr from Jet.com wrote a great post, and like the biggest mistake he made at Jet is like raising money at too high valuations. It can create problems down the road.
Oh yeah,
so I don't think it's just VC self-interest.
Yeah, and raising too much money. Because often you'll still give away the same percentage. You just raise a lot more money.
You raise too much money. And and again, it's interesting to circle back to our knowledge versus wisdom thing. Like, yes, you can read the article that says, don't let your burn get out of control until you have product market fit. But like the money's sitting in your bank account, like no matter how you try to do it, like founders end up spending that money. Like you just
100%. There's no, it's just like, it's too big of a force. You can't just like let it earn interest.
Yeah, it's like burning. Yeah, exactly. So I think what we're seeing in valuations, the sort of obvious thing to point out is that there's AI and there's not AI deals. And
so everything today is AI, right?
Of course. Everyone, well, hey, just add .ai to your domain name, you're an AI company. But in terms of like the true Gen AI kind of stuff, we're seeing in a Village, we lead pre-seed and seed rounds of Village Global. We see those AI-centric deals often clearing 20 post for pre-seed or seed rounds, even with zero traction, no revenue, and so forth. But for the non-AI deals, we're still our average like entry price will be $7.5 to $10 million post money valuation. So we think there are plenty of those deals to do. It means that you have to be great at discovering founders at the very beginning of their journey, and that's hard to do. And so I think you have to have a strategy of inception stage discovery to do lower cost entry price venture investing. If you don't want to have a strategy around that and you just want to play an access game, then you're going to enter at seed and Series A, north of 20 post.
Interesting. How do you think about like when like in the kind of mid 2000s, like the average deal was maybe 5 posts or something. The average kind of seed stage deal, you made it raise $1 million on 5 posts. That was pretty common back then. Maybe if you're really good, you're $1 million on 5 pre or something, right, and have a little less dilution.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you think of it, if you just think like the tech world has grown at least 10% a year since then, we're at 18 years. So that would be at least a 4x turn, right? So it'd be more than a 4x turn. So it should, like, even if you just think of just normally, it should be over, like that same deal should be at 20 post today than it is. That if that 10% actually leads, if actually the exit valuations are at 10% what they were kind of in the past.
Well, I think and actually Village, our mutual friend Mark Pincus did a fireside chat with me, and it's on YouTube if people want to watch, where he talks about the early financing rounds of Zynga. And I think like the Zynga, and Mark was like a repeat founder. I think he had taken a company public, right, when he started Zynga. So he was not like a first-time founder. I think like the first thing, the Zynga round was like at 5 post or something, like the seed round. And so it's completely bonkers where we are today by comparison. I think.
Or is it? I mean, again, 10%. If it was 10% a year, it would be pretty normal.
Correct. So one of two things will happen. Either the asset class will produce horribly in company vintages. That's one option. Obviously, neither you nor I would believe that because we're running venture funds or are in the venture business in different ways. So what we have to believe is that exit values will be a lot higher than they used to be. That there will be more companies that exit for tens of billions of dollars to justify this higher entry price. And I think if you look at software in the world,
if you're paying 4x more at the entry, you got to get 4x more on the exit.
100%.
Yeah. Now, some of those venture firms did super well. Maybe you get 3x more on the exit and you still do okay or something, right?
Yeah. Like I have a friend who believes like, well, VCs just made too much money in the last 30 years. Like it wasn't efficient. Like, so, boo-hoo, VCs can make a little less money, but
that's fair.
But that could happen. That could be an outcome. But I think generally it's not hard to tell a story about why there'll be larger tech outcomes in the years to come and why every business is becoming a tech business, software and AI transforming every industry, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's pretty credible to assert that there will be more value creation in the tech industry in the next 20, 30 years, which would justify these higher entry prices for VCs.